Okay, welcome back. And we're looking at the crisis that has befallen the PDP. It's just announced that its national chairman, the process for its suspension has begun. And so we wait to see how all of that goes. His world exco has indeed suspended him. We have Mr. Lukman in from Ghana, who is waiting to join the program. Good morning to you, Mr. Lukman.
Good morning, Uncle Yori. Happy New Week.
Indeed, same to you.
I think we should thank God that PDP did not win the election. You could see the reason. We could see the reason why PDP were not able to do anything in 16 years. It was because of their arrogant attitude. If we don't eradicate people leaving their party, what is the ideology or tradition of a member being a member of a political party? In Ghana, yes, there was a time some of their chairman, the chairman of the party, the secretary, they had a problem with NPP, and they stood with the party, they campaigned for the party. You need to solve your problem within the party, not that you are leaving the party today or you are working against your party. That's unfair. And look at what is the benefit of Ayu. And today, after election, when you lost, you are now removing Ayu. That is campaign after election. We need to have a competitive democracy. If we have a strong government, we must have a very competent opposition. And that's what one of the first callers was saying, that the PDP are so lazy, we didn't even see their actions as a strong opposition. And things need to change. They need to put their house together and be able to be a strong opposition against the new government coming in. So that's my question.
I want to thank you very much, Lukman, for calling in from Ghana. Guest still with us is Mr. Ken Okolugbo, public affairs analyst. He's a former PDP campaign council member, and he's also served as a commissioner in Delta State. Now, as to that particular, let me have your commentary on, look, maybe it was because of the way his removal was asked for, or whatever the reasoning. The chairman of PDP, I think a governor had said that he has to go, but that didn't happen then. He didn't listen. Neither did the presidential candidate listen. So, if this was going to happen anyhow, now what the governor or the governors that were asking for his resignation wanted has now happened. And this really leaves everybody of substance within the PDP in something of a quandary.
No, but Uncle Yori, you should know that there must be a reaction from the National Working Committee, the members that are backing Ayu. They're definitely going to distance themselves from that suspension. They're going to play down on it. They're going to tell you that it holds no water. His word is not going to be able to suspend him. But that is where the crisis will begin from, because the governors that are behind this suspension will then move to the next level of beginning to try to take over the party. And you know how it always turns out, one court action to the other court action. This court will pronounce that Ayu is no more the chairman of the party. By the time they get to the appeal court, remember all we went through with McAfee and Sheriff before they went to the issue of Secondus. I think Secondus, I don't know what happened to Secondus' case at the Supreme Court. So the truth about it is that is a PDP that is going to lose completely. Because if you look at, I pointed it out when I was still a member of the PDP, just before I left, that the G5 governors are also going to hurt themselves. Autumn didn't win his senatorial bid. He has also lost Benue State to the APC. Ogunwayi didn't win his senatorial bid. He barely survived to the attack from the Labour Party and got his governorship candidate. He has lost completely. He lost the senatorial seat and also lost his state to Labour Party. So if you look at the G5 governors, only Makinde can stand tall. But Makinde is standing tall at an expense of having 3 APC senators, which might eventually come back to haunt him, and having most of the members as APC House of Rep members. Because when you tell your party to vote for another candidate, especially when the candidate is not in sync with you, it's boomerangs. It also has its negative effect on those actions that you're going to take. But where do you lay this blame on? I still lay the blame on the leadership of the party, especially the presidential candidate who was the leader of the party. But that is not to say the PDP didn't also make their gains. As a public affairs analyst, I must also point out that Zamfara had a sitting APC governor who left the PDP to the APC, Matawale. He was defeated and he has accepted defeat. So that means that governor is not going to even go through the rigors of having to defend himself at the tribunal.
Okay. Ken, one moment, please. I beg your pardon for interrupting you. I don't want to lose Maxwell, who has called in from Port Harcourt and is waiting. Good morning, Maxwell.
Uncle, very good day to you.
Good morning, sir. Thank you very much for calling in and holding on. Please go ahead now.
Okay. One of your callers said that Labour Party is not a force that is dependent on one man. Can you hear me, Uncle?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Now, I want to tell the person that Awolowo was one man. I was able to unite the Yoruba ethnic group. He was he was a movement of his own. And if he's saying that Obi is not a movement, I cannot be a third force, then I wonder what Awolowo did for Yoruba nation.
Okay.
And secondly, the Labour Party, to me, won the presidential election. How do you know how people win elections? Look at Osun State. When they called Adeleke, people rejoiced, they were ecstatic. Look at Abia State, when they called Labour Party, people rejoiced, were ecstatic. Look at Buhari's first tenure, when he was called a winner, people came out rejoicing, thinking that he would do magic. Unfortunately, he didn't do anything. That's how you know the temperature of people who won elections.
Yeah.
But shake various states.
I hear you, but Maxwell, I think it needs saying that Labour Party did not win the election. APC.
No, I understand.
Okay.
ANEC, yes. ANEC did what they did and said APC won. No problem about that. I'm not doubting that. As you said, I mean, somebody have been named president-elect.
Okay. All right then. Okay, thank you for calling in. Ken, again, I'll come to you for a reaction to his position.
Well, the truth is that the Labour Party is already in court. They are at the tribunal. It is the Court of Appeal and the Supreme Court that will take that decision. But like I said in Delta, for example, I maintain that Peter Obi's votes were more than what he got, So the elections were fraught with a lot of malpractices. I participated in that process. I was a candidate, and I'm also questioning the process in the tribunal. INEC has a lot of improvement to make, especially for the presidential elections, where the results were not uploaded in real time. And apart from uploading the results in real time, the Form ECAT, a lot of them were tampered with. But all that will be sorted at the tribunal at this material point in time. The good thing about it is that the two leading candidates in opposition, Atiku Abubakar and Peter Obi, has chosen to go to the tribunal. They didn't call out Nigerians to go on the streets. So what it behaves on us is to put pressures on the judiciary for them to do the right thing. If the judiciary decides to do the right thing and they see the infractions, then they can only take their decisions. And but as it stands now, Bola Ahmed Tinubu is the president-elect and will be sworn in on the 29th of May. There's nothing anybody can do about that. That is the truth about it. And going into what he actually said about the aesthetics in terms of rejoicing, yes, that I might agree with him, is the point when people take their decisions. But unfortunately, most of the people that did come out to vote did not come out to vote in the governorship election because there was voter apathy. Indeed. A lot of people felt that they were disappointed, and so the turnout was not the same way it was at the presidential election.
Okay, let me bring on Mr. Balogun calling in from the UK. Hello, Balogun.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Uncle Yori.
Good morning, sir. Thank you for calling.
Yeah, Uncle Yori, we don't have to give ourselves on this discussion about PDP. One, PDP themselves, they shot themselves by the foot. That is by the way. But to your last caller, having Obi and comparing Obi with Awolowo, I think it's a miles away. We need to correct that with the last caller. Obi is a movement. Awolowo wasn't. It was not a movement. At least we have been here now for another 6 decades. But to come to the point of PDP, there is one man that I think is Dominic that said that we don't have a good opposition. Number one, the gentleman there, Ken, he tried his best as a young man to be a very vibrant person. It's unfortunate what happened to him. I don't know what happened to him. I've not seen him on TV for a very long time. But I'm happy to see him this morning. Thank God I'm off today. I get you. Look at what we have in UK here. That is what they call opposition. They would condemn and they provide a solution. But in their case, sometimes they just condemn. Nothing. That's not opposition. Let the people know that, look, this thing is wrong. This is what you need to do. And many times I've offered a solution. We need to be clear about it. He's my very good person. I like following him, but I don't know that he has problem with PDP. People like this are the ones that we need to bring on board.
Yeah.
I'm not a party man, but I have my soft spot for Tinubu. I have to say this. But the PDP, they need to sit down. If it means that they need to overhaul everything about PDP, even Wiki is one of the problems. They will bring in this. If it doesn't favor them, they throw them out. They will bring this. If it doesn't favor them, they throw it out. It's not politics. That is not politics. Yeah, we know it's of interest. But if not every time you want your interest to override others. Even this President Ayu they're talking about, who brought Ayu on board? It was them that brought Ayu from Makarufi all the way to Ayu. But the game boom around because the game was that if Ayu is there, we from the start will have our way. Not knowing that Atiku has his own agenda. And Atiku has been beating Wike to it several times. He beat him the last time in Port Harcourt. He beat him again. So they need to watch out.
Okay.
And again, lastly, sir, it's like you are not giving us in that manner an opportunity to speak with you. For 2 weeks now, I've been trying to get your line. It's not always possible.
Oh, well.
So thank you very much. Have a lovely day. Man.
Indeed. Thank you for continuing the efforts to connect with us. Okay, so again, the point being made, I think you heard the point being made, Ken, and
well, yes, I heard the point. The caller, he cut it succinctly because the truth about it is you must offer an alternative. And that is what the PDP does not have now in terms of having that spokesman who comes from, with that, I know you said Metu, or a kind of, I can't remember the former PDP spokesman that actually, the late PDP spokesman from Cross River, and a couple of others who would offer solutions when they speak. At this point in time, what they had in the Presidential Campaign Council, I found it strange that they took a spokesperson who had just left the APC and become their spokesperson. What does he have to say about the PDP? What does he know about the PDP? He would spend time defending all he has said about the PDP, the way he has condemned the PDP. Before a program rounds up, he will have only a few minutes to talk about the PDP. Like he's rightly said, the PDP has to do a soul searching. Yeah. They have to overhaul the PDP. They need to go on a healing. They need to go on reconciliation. They need to go and beg those they've offended. They need to get the party together and not suspending people. It's not the right way to go about it.
Just like Balogun said, virtually start from scratch, in his opinion. Let me bring on Miriam calling in from Abuja. Good morning, Miriam.
Hello, good morning, Uncle Yuri.
Good morning, ma'am.
Yeah, I just listened to Bola from Port Maxwell.
Yes, okay.
And he likened that when Buhari won, there was so much excitement. And that the people who won by the level of excitement in the country. I want Maxwell to know that this time it was a 3-horse race. And Tinubu had 37 or 39%, and the others had 30%, which I don't know the percentage. But what it shows is that more than half the people, of course, did not vote for Tinubu, but that did not stop Tinubu from winning. Tinubu won the election fair and square, so I find it very disturbing when I hear people say he did not win this election. I think what we have in the Constitution is either you win, the person with the highest vote cast has won this election. So when people come out, I've had this argument severally with my friends, when people come out and say Tinubu did not win this election, I find it very laughable. Tinubu won this election fair and square, and we knew Tinubu was going to win because PDP did not have his house in order. We knew Tinubu was going to win when the 5 governors left. The time they had their governors together, they did not win this election. Is it when they came to this battle with a divided front, they expected to win this election? Tinubu won this election. I find it laughable when they say Peter Obi won. Peter Obi, for Christ, he came third in this election. How did he win this election? Yes, he might have a cult followership, Wally did at the time, but with his cult followership, he couldn't win until we had this handshake from the West. So please, I don't want people misleading people. And the obedient people are becoming so, I don't understand what is wrong with them. You know, they did not win. Tinubu won, and by the grace of God, Tinubu is going to be our president. He is going to be sworn in on the 29th of May. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Miriam, for calling in and underlining that fact. Yeah, because when Maxwell called in from Port Harcourt, and I pointed it out to him that he was paraphrasing what Mr. Obi was saying, but as you've just said, Miriam, Labour Party came third, not even second. But then, as everybody is entitled to do, not just the third position in this particular contest, that is Labour Party, even that the next to the winner, both of them are in courts now. But as you've also underlined for us, and to be fair, Maxwell did say, oh yeah, but I think he was trying to say that, you know what they say, that was INEC. Well, as you said, thank you for underlining it. Tinubu won the election, and as you said, it is expected that he will be sworn in at the appointed date. So now, again, Ken, there you go. Somebody taking issue with this whole matter about trying to say anybody but the actual winner won this election. The actual winner, well known, apart from politicking, is Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
Yeah, Miriam is very passionate. He's a passionate supporter of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. It's very obvious. But it's not about being passionate. The truth be told, INEC is the body that is in charge of conducting elections, and they have returned Tinubu as the winner. But she should also respect other people's opinion who think that Tinubu didn't win this election. That is their opinion. That is not the opinion of INEC.
Exactly.
So as long as it's not
exactly
said Tinubu didn't win.
Let me thank you, Ken. Let me quickly bring in Mazi OKOROAFOR in AROCHUKWU. Good morning, Mazi.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, our guest.
Good morning.
The crashing of the leading party, the opposition party, is something shaking. Shaking in the sense that within the second themselves, right from the beginning, before the election, before the Jagaban came into the office as president-elect. Now, they had a crash. That crack they had, they refused to ratify the problems. That they were the causes of the problem, they were chasing the symptoms. That is why they have a very serious issue now. But the question now is, I agree that many heads are going to roll there. But the possibility of them coming back to office or coming back to power is very, very slim. Because when there is a crack in the house, what you have to do now is to bring down the whole house. Because if you are going to patch, you have a serious issue because you don't know the patching area, what will happen to the other wing. So I will advise the party to do what? Go back to the basis, sit down, find out what caused the causes, and find out because the Jagaban has won the election. What we are waiting for, in short, it seems the most should be running very fast. Because I don't know why this or that, the most fast to me is delayed before we talk about April. So let us sit down and watch what will be the outcome of the leading opposition party crashing. Good morning. MAXWELL from AROCHUKWU. Good morning.
Thank you very much, Mazi. Okay, so Ken, okay.
If MAXWELL doesn't call into your program, it never ticks. He's been part of this program anytime I'm around, and I always enjoy his contribution.
Yeah, no, the program does have its core, audience. It's almost like the program was not complete if you don't hear from some people. Now, maybe I should spend, it's because you have knowledge relating to PDP. You've only just recently left them. But your party now, ACORD, you won't want to go from frying pan into fire. So clearly you made the judgment that ACORD was a much saner place to be politically, right?
Well, ACORD was a relatively unknown party, but has won elections in Delta State. Yes, a lot of people expected I was going to join the Labour movement, but for some reasons I didn't join the Labour movement, and I did a lot for the party in Iyorchia Federal Constituency. Even my worst critic would agree that I ran a campaign that's never been run.
Oh, even you yourself, you were doing anti-party when you were there.
No, I didn't do anti-party.
Oh, I thought you said you worked for the emergence of Mr. Obi.
No, I didn't say that. I said I ran a campaign. That is my own, not Obi's campaign. But let me tell you the truth,
sure.
Yori. ACORD voted Peter Obi. PDP voted Peter Obi. APC voted Peter Obi in Delta. I always like to hit the nail on the head. If they come and tell you they didn't vote on it, most of them are lying. People bring fingerprints experts to check.
So all of that was going on.
But the thing about it was because they felt very disappointed with the decisions the sitting governor took. So Delta was a bit unique. Let me not dwell so much on that. Let it not be like I'm attacking my governor or it's a personal issue. Bola Ahmed Tinubu was a child of destiny. He was probably destined to achieve his dream of becoming the president of Nigeria. Because how would you have imagined that a Kwakwansu who is from Northwest will insist on becoming the president of Nigeria, knowing fully well that Buhari is from the Northwest? How would you imagine that Kwakwansu refused to team with Peter Obi at the time? People thought if they come together, they'll be able to win the elections. Just imagine if an Obi decided to now join Atiku at a particular point in time to say, look, let us all team together and face Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Their votes would have been over 13 million.
That's right.
And Tinubu would have been left. So I think I would describe Bola Ahmed Tinubu as a child of destiny who was destined at some point to be where he is today.
Indeed. And also bear in mind, which I'm not telling you anything new, Bola Ahmed Tinubu has been at it for over 30 years. The single-minded focus. It's just that not many people would have known, but those that do know that it's very hard to come into a thing, as it were, weeks to the event or even years, but over 3 decades. So I want to thank you very much for making the time for us, Ken Okolugbo, formerly of the PDP. But this morning, we're looking at him as, a public affairs analyst. And just for the sake of full disclosure, he's now of ACORD and not of the PDP anymore. Thank you once again, Ken, for coming on this morning.
My pleasure, Uncle Yori. Thank you for having me.